Hello and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 31 transfer plans video with me, Holly Shand. Gameweek 30 has now finished. Our attention's turning to next weekend, but we have to remember that we've got 4 teams in midweek action in the Champions League, Europa League and Europa Conference League knockout rounds. So hold on to those transfers until Friday if you can. Let's get into it. Looking at how my Game Week 30 finished, I ended up on 59 points. I took a -4 hit to get Haaland back in now, so I did get a very small red arrow, but I'm pretty pleased with how my team performed. Obviously, my forward line smashed it, as did Rashford as captain, but I could have probably got more points if I'd gone with Haaland or Watkins, but you live and learn. The rest of my midfield struggled though. Saka obviously disappointing with just 1 point. Solly March on the bench didn't help me either, and Matoma was very, very unlucky to dodge points in that Brighton game against Spurs. A lot of decisions went against him and the Seagulls. My defence, it was a bit of a shambles from them. Mings with the clean sheet, but nothing from the Newcastle defenders or Kepa either. I've got 1 free transfer going into Game Week 31 there and 0.2 million in the bank. A couple of injuries still. Luke Shaw, we don't currently know how long he's going to be out for. And now we've got Marcus Rashford flagged as well. We haven't got any updates so far. I'm recording this on Monday morning to the extent of his groin injury. But obviously we know that Manchester United will play on Thursday in the Europa League quarter-finals, so we will get some firm information on his injury status. So I've kind of got 2 transfer plans at the moment, one depending on whether Rashford is fit or not, but we do need to be mindful of future transfer plans as well. I'm planning to free hit in Game Week 32 because I've got quite a number of players from Manchester United, Brighton, Chelsea and Manchester City who all blank that week. So if I've got 8 players that blank, that's going to be the time to play the free hit to navigate that week. So if I'm wanting to retain those players long term because of the fact that there's double Game Week 34 to come, I don't really want to lose them in the meantime, and that could give me a little bit of flexibility with the likes of Shaw and Rashford and their availability going forward. The other thing I need to bear in mind is that if I am going to free hit in 32, I need to use my 1 free transfer this week because you can't roll a transfer until after the free hit. So it gives me a good opportunity to bolster my squad. Now, obviously, if Rashford is not available, I could just bench him if it looks like he's going to be back for Game Week 33, but then he does play Spurs that week anyway. So I think even if he's going to be out for a period of time, but I want him back for Game Week 34, I could potentially lose him in the short term and get 2 really strong game weeks out of another player. And if I was to make that move, the player that I've got on my watch list, who I really wanted to buy last week, but couldn't because I was getting the hit to get Haaland back, was Jack Grealish, who's been in sensational form for Manchester City in recent games. We have to bear in mind that I think he's just missed 1 game since the FPL restart where he's not started in the Premier League. He's the number 1 choice on the left-hand flank, and he's got a goal and an assist in the last 2 games, 2 12-pointers back-to-back. He's in form, he's enjoying his football, he's nailed on. He's a really great pick. So if Rashford is out for 2, 3, 4 weeks, say, then I think I'll definitely make that move from Rashford to Grealish. If Rashford looks like he's going to be back imminently, then I've got another transfer to play elsewhere. I don't want to lose my double up on Newcastle United defenders or Tyrone Mings, who's in form, or Luke Shaw, really. I could potentially upgrade Rico Henry, but we look at defenders now, defenders that are doubling. I've kind of tripled up on a number of the key teams. I can't get a different Manchester United defender in, for example. I'm tripled up on Brighton. I don't know if I want to triple up on Newcastle United defenders. So that seems a waste of a move. But one luxury move that I would be really tempted to make this week is Saka out for Martinelli. Now, that does seem like a bold move, and I have been kind of swapping between Arsenal midfielders for a while now, but the thing that's really impressed me is that Martinelli has just 1 blank in his last 8 games. And since Gabriel Jesus has returned to the side, Martinelli has rediscovered that sharpness that we saw from the early game weeks of the season. He's also nearly a couple of million cheaper than Saka, which is certainly going to help me in terms of making additional moves towards the end of the season. So it does seem like a luxury move, but if I don't have a Rashford problem to deal with, it would be nice to make that little upgrade, save some funds as well in the process, and really set myself up for the final few game weeks of the season. As I said at the top though, it's a busy midweek. We've got Manchester City, Manchester United, Chelsea and West Ham in midweek action from Tuesday to Thursday. So hold on to those transfers. If you have got a transfer dilemma, do get in the comments. I do my best to answer all of your questions within 24 hours of this video going live, and I'll be back on Thursday with team selection. Good luck for FPL Game Week 31.